Black lightning has saved many people in the city of Freeland, but tonight we might find that there's one person he cannot save, himself. And looming in the air is a possibility of not just one, but two people very close to Black lightning who have secrets that apparently are going to come out in the open. All that and more here on Nephilim Entertainment. What is up, people? Welcome back. I'm your host, Metatron Uriel. Thank you for tuning in to Nephilim Entertainment. And this is my coverage of Black Lightning. And this is episode number 6, 3 sevens, The Book of Thunder. So, we all start out with a nice little scenario of the cops prepping for battle. That's always good, especially when you have a hero who has already been on the hit list more than once. But this brings up another interesting thing that I would like to discuss with y'all. Can we trust Henderson? I know that in the past couple episodes he's actually shown to be sort of an ally to Black Lightning, while publicly denouncing him and actually making him sound like public enemy number 1. But now this poses a question: who is he facading who? Is he just keeping up appearances for the police, meanwhile trying to help what he thinks is the right course with Black Lightning? Or is he being the sort of secret agent slash spy slash cohort to try to lull Black Lightning to a false sense of security, only to bring him to justice? Who knows? I'd like to, but I don't know. Do you? So, with that going on, we actually find out Pierce is still down from last week's episode, or the episode before last. But, if you're not, Gamby to the rescue. Somehow, Gamby always seems to be in the right place at the right time, even though those circumstances call into question. But, there's just one thing that I want to ask, and I'm asking in all seriousness and all for reals. Are you sure it is smart to have his ex-wife do triage? I mean, I know that keeping a super secret of a superhero is stressful work, but really, somebody needs to develop a medical degree, because you can't keep going to your ex-wife for triage, especially when she's openly dismayed and showed her disapproval for the whole entire thing. But, with that being said, we find out that Tobias is actually kind of nervous about Miss Eve's threat towards his life. Talking about wanting to ground him up into dust and basically serve him to everybody to gather strength. Some weird ritual. Either way, Tobias is nervous and scared, so he's beefing up security, which is a very interesting thing, because for the longest time Tobias is always showing off to be sort of the brave slash strong leader. Now he's showing a mild bit of weakness and vulnerability. It's interesting to see in his character. But with all this going on, I think Henderson might be showing his reluctance for any misbehaving, any kind of hinky kind of stuff, because he's starting to sense that there might not be some honesty among the police force, and he's starting to sense that there might be sort of a double agent or a turncoat within their midst. So I don't know personally if Henderson is a guy we can trust, but I would still keep a close eye on him, because while I think his only true motive is justice. That says a lot, because it could go either way. He'll do whatever it takes to prevent any kind of misdeeds from happening and to preserve justice. That also means that if Black Lightning steps one foot out of line, Henderson will probably be the first one to make the call to take him down. So this is going to be interesting to see what unfolds, especially with the circumstances building up in this episode. And what I mean by that is, one, Pierce is starting to pick up on Gamby's reluctance about him taking out Tobias. At first, it sort of seemed like he was maybe hiding the fact to protect him, but now it's becoming so apparent that even Pierce is starting to question his motivations and his own sense of, I guess you could say, his own sense of calling towards this whole thing. You know, his, basically he's questioning if he's got the resolve to do what's needed for Tobias. Which, it, brings up another interesting point, and Gambini actually fears this, is Pierce's willingness to actually take out Tobias. And when I mean take out, I mean not zap him until his toes are twitching, but I mean zap him until there's a hole in his chest. Yeah, Pierce wants to take out Tobias because Tobias was responsible for his father's death. Fair point. But it brings into question what Pierce's sort of mentality is at this point. I mean, can we really trust him to be the hero that we thought he was going to be? Especially if he's willing to kill a man for his own selfish vengeance? I mean, it really questions his resolve in this whole matter. So Gambini does actually something that I guess is his kryptonite right now, ironically, is his ex-wife Lynn. So we're actually going to see Lynn become sort of, I guess, the roadblock to keep Pierce on the right track. And I've made my predictions before, and I'm very reluctant to make them, especially since if I'm right, I'm feeling so horrible at this point, is if they do something to Lynn, I know he has his daughters, but at some point will Pierce actually abandon the Boy Scout routine? Interesting notion. But with all this going on, we actually see sort of a bonding moment between Lynn and Alicia. Alicia gets in trouble for protesting about a statue. Well, not much is said at this point in the episode, and I'm really not sure what the point of it is, because we see Alicia out of nowhere protesting it. We see her actually get in trouble and arrested. Next scene, she's actually sitting at home doing research. No parent is there to breathe down her neck. Nobody's saying anything. Jen makes a crack here and there, but nothing's really said about it. Meanwhile, she's, walking to her mom's place of business, drops a box of research, and goes about her business. Nothing said about the protest. Nothing said about her getting arrested. Was there really a point to it? I just want to throw that out there. I mean, to me, it just seems like that was one of those kind of scene fillers. I mean, they're just trying to give her random acts just to sort of keep the character sort of vibrant. And that's fine and dandy, but if it's not part of the story, why even show it? I mean, I know it can have some political impact on the real life, but at the same time, do you really just want a spontaneity in this, really? I mean, is there really a point to just randomly throwing stuff out there? But that's my pulpit message. And we find out that Jen is sort of having an issue with the whole Cleo thing. She hasn't talked to him, and we find out why. Apparently, he's very, very angry. I mean, who could blame him? He lost his one chance to get out of there, and he lost his only, I guess, real talent, and now he's built up a lot of anger in him. So while Pierce is hunting down Tobias, Tobias is cleverly trying to sort of cite Cleo into the whole anti-Black Lightning campaign. And he's actually starting to take it out on our girl Jenna. Which, might not be a smart thing to do, man, because you don't really seem like you have too many friends other than her. But when this all goes on, once again, Anissa goes back to the statue and actually manages to destroy it. But in the process of destroying it, she hurts some innocent bystanders. So she is ready to confess to her mom all the things that are going on. Great. So while she's on her way to go talk to her mother, Gambini pleads with Jefferson and I to take out Black Lightning. Black Lightning coerces a doctor into turning on Tobias. So now he naturally is going to use this opportunity to take out Tobias. Gambini pleads. Well, finally he gets a hold of Lynn and tells Lynn what's going on, and Lynn actually talks him down from the situation, which is good. And she actually makes peace with the whole concept of him being Black Lightning. She actually admits that I realize that Black Lightning is you and that's who you are, and that this needs to be done. Finally, we got a believer. Look, I'm all for people protesting against heroes and stories, but at the same time, don't try to chalk it up to some neurological thing. And yeah, there might be some science behind it, release of endorphins and all that, but don't try to make it sound like anything more than what it is. You're jealous. He put the world above you, put the city above you, and you're jealous. So there is your confession that you need to make to yourself. But on his way to going to talk to his ex-wife Lynn, there's actually a break-in, and apparently some people are breaking in and are accosting Lynn, and naturally, Anissa is there to help rescue her mom. Well, in the processes of this, guess who should show up but Black Lightning? So he thinks that Anissa, who is dressed all up in her outfit, is there to hurt his ex-wife. And something finally happens. But is it soon? Is it too soon, actually? We actually have Anissa versus her dad. And, oh my God, they actually go at it pretty hard. I have to applaud the stunt choreographics for this because they actually go head toe to toe, actually fighting like they are trying to take each other out. Not killing, but just, subdue the other. And I have to say, this fight was actually pretty legit, and I actually quite enjoyed it. It was short and brief, but I enjoyed it. But I love how Black Lightning, even though he is up there in years, and his daughter, even though she might not be too experienced with her new powers, he ends up getting the upper hand and actually knocks down his daughter. Well, when he finds out that his daughter is Anissa, oh, poor Jefferson, he's actually heartbroken. Dude, you didn't kill her. It's alright. It's okay. Calm down. But with Anissa's secret out there, this should make things even more interesting. But the last thing that happens that really tripped me out was we find out that Gambini actually taught Miss Eve. Yeah, it gets better. It gets a lot better. Wait, it gets a lot better. Because not only that, but he also made a pact to protect the Pierces. And apparently, this pact involves some shady deals underneath the table. Well, what was the terms of this pact? When did you teach Eve? And better yet, what are these deals? Just when we thought we had one secret solved, Gambini brings a whole new set to the table. Alright, up next for Black Lightning. Apparently, Anissa is wanting to be the disciple of Black Lightning, and her thought is that her and her dad should go and kick some butt. It's a good notion. Where to start? You got Jefferson Pierce, who is wanting to settle the score with Tobias. You have Anissa, who's wanting to clean up the city. You got Lynn, who's sort of reluctant about watching her family go out and be a team of crime fighters. And yeah, and that's just the first 6 episodes. I can't imagine how much this is going to get intense by later on in the series. But yeah, that's going to do a wrap for me. Be sure to drop me a comment and let me know what you think about the episode. Be sure to leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to my page, and stay tuned to the end of the video for more content. But my question for y'all is, what do you think is the most messed up secret right now that Gambini has? The fact that he is protecting Tobias, the fact that he has taught Eve, the fact that he's made pacts to protect the Pierce family, or the fact that he's got some deals going on with some shady people. Let me know what you think up here. But I am Edge and you're watching Nephilim Entertainment. To all you daydreamers and creators out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.